Hello, everybody. This is Larry Harry Berry, formerly of the Orange Pourage Radio Variety Show, formerly known as the Orange Pourage Internet Radio Variety Show, both of which are now totally and utterly defunct. And now we leave the old states and head on to a time and place only 2 whoops and a holler away from here, where cowboys and rushers vied for the attention of the prettiest painted ladies, when nothing could get atwixt a barrel border and his bug juice before the big jump. The dickens, you say? Well, let me split fair with you, 'cause I don't tell whoppers, and there's no fiddle-faddle here. Everybody knows that dog won't hunt. So by hook or by crook, let's bend an elbow and have us a hog-killing time on an Old West Recollection. Today, in 1882, Bronco Billy Anderson, also known as Gilbert M. Anderson, the first Western movie star, is born in Little Rock, Arkansas. Better known as Bronco Billy, the name of the Western hero he played in over 300 short films, Anderson was the first Western movie star. Furthermore, he played several small parts in one of the first movies ever made, The Great Train Robbery. In 1903, Anderson won a role as a bandit in the film after telling the director he could ride like a Texas Ranger. When it became clear that Anderson could hardly get onto a horse, he was made an extra and played several minor parts. Later that year, the 10-minute movie received an enthusiastic reception from the public, and Anderson decided to make a career in the promising new business of telling stories in moving pictures. Anderson moved to Chicago, which was becoming a minor movie-making center. After a few years directing and occasionally starring in movies produced by others, Anderson decided to create his own production company. Forming a partnership with old friend George K. Spohr, in 1907, Anderson created the S&A Company, which would later be credited as one of the best of the early movie studios. At first, Anderson made comedies, but remembering the brilliant success of The Great Train Robbery, he eventually turned to westerns. Anderson was one of the first movie producers to realize that the public needed a central character in the movies, a star on which they could focus their attention. In 1909, though, there were no movie stars, and stage actors were reluctant to risk films. Anderson decided to make himself the star, creating the character Bronco Billy out of ideas about the West culled from popular dime novels. In 1909, Anderson released his first Western, Bronco Billy and the Baby. It was an enormous success, and convinced Anderson that he should stick with westerns starring the Bronco Billy character. Over the next 5 years, Anderson made over 300 short 1 or 2 reel movies featuring Bronco Billy. That's a lot. Physically, Anderson was not especially handsome or dashing, but audiences liked Bronco Billy for his courageous virtue and bravery. In 1915, Anderson released his last film in the series, Bronco Billy's Sentence, and thereafter turned to writing. A few years later, he attempted a comeback, but by then the Western field was dominated by more dashing actors like Tom Mix and William S. Hart. He made comedies for several years before retiring. Later recognized and honored for his pivotal role in the development of the Western, in 1965 he made a cameo appearance in a modern Hollywood Western called The Bounty Killer, his first talking picture. Anderson died in his sleep on January 20th, 1971, at the age of 88. So there you go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bronco Billy Anderson. Happy birthday to you. This has been read from the March 21st calendar of History.com.